Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Who wins, Zepeda or Roach? Well, let's just jump right into it. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Give me a follow on all the other social media platforms. Now, William Zepeda, his path to victory. It's pretty simple. He's got to do what he does well. Overwhelm Roach with volume. Like, it's not rocket science to what he needs to do. It's just a matter of Roach is going to cooperate. Zepeda's at his best when he's forcing opponents to work every second of every round. And I'm just being real with you. With Shakir Stevenson, he had some success, but Shakir Stevenson was able to figure him out and beat him at his own game. Shakir Stevenson held his ground, countered him, and made him think twice before he let those hands go. Typically, you see a guy like Zepeda, he's looking to throw punches and combinations. Pressure behind a high work rate doesn't allow many breaks. When you want to rest, he makes you work. And he wins rounds through sustained activity. You saw him do that against Tevin Farmer and everyone else. He tried it against Shakir. I thought he may have some success. That's why I was so curious about that fight. But Shakir just proved to be on another level. Now, I just think with Lamont Roach, if he spends too much time defending, judges are going to reward Zepeda's output. If he's defending, that's cool, but he's got to make Zepeda pay. He's got to do what Shakir did. The problem is Roach isn't Shakir Stevenson. And I think when Roach starts to slow down later, if he doesn't get Zepeda out of there, Zepeda's going to pick it up and outwork him. Could possibly stop him, just overwhelm him, too many shots. Now, with Zepeda, he's got to go to the body. You know, you got Roach, a skilled mover, so the body work's going to be crucial. You know, he just got to let those hands go. Try to slow Roach's footwork down, reduce the movement later in the fight like I was talking about, and, hey, may open up some opportunities upstairs. You know what I'm saying? And keep the fight at his pace. Don't slow the pace down. Keep it at his pace. You know what I'm saying? Pressure fighters generally succeed when they can dictate the tempo. He's got to keep it at a fast pace that Lamont Roach can't keep up with. Lamont Roach has to figure out how to slow Zepeda down. And that's why we got to talk about Lamont Roach and his path to victory. He got to control that distance, man. Roach's movement and positioning, it could be key. You know what I'm saying? Don't just stand still. Create those angles, make Zepeda reset, time him, hit him with that jab, hit him with big shots to make him think twice. And avoid extended exchanges on the ropes because Zepeda is letting combinations go. He may not hit you with the first two, but that third, fourth, fifth, and sixth shot, one or two of them are going to get in there. And Roach could get hit with something he's not expecting. So he got to counter that pressure. Because again, like I talked about, Zepeda, the pressure, the combination punches, it's going to create opportunities. But as a result, Zepeda does tend to overcommit sometimes. And maybe Roach can land clean counters, which we know he's capable of doing, score with sharp combinations, and capitalize on defensive openings. The good thing about Roach is Zepeda doesn't crack like Gervonta Davis. The bad thing is Zepeda throws more punches than Gervonta. And then you take a look at Pitbull Cruz. He probably hits harder than Zepeda, but he doesn't have the output of Zepeda. So Roach is going to have to figure that out. So when there's some defensive openings, he needs to capitalize and just overall stay disciplined. You know what I mean? He can't try to prove that he can outwork Zepeda. You know, you don't go in there and try to fight Zepeda's fight. Be patient, time him, show that ring awareness, and just try to be more effective. And every area opposed to trying to match volume. That's the worst thing Roach could do. But I wonder if Zepeda can cut that ring off. Roach is brilliant, man. For those who didn't know who Roach was, some people just knew him from the Jamel Herring fight. He has evolved. He's not down in the light at 130. He's at a weight where he's comfortable. He shouldn't have any problem. No excuses inside that ring. So Zepeda is going to have to cut that ring off. Because one thing about Roach, he's not a runner, but he'll move. He'll move his feet, change his positioning, create angles, let his hands go. He has a brilliant IQ. So you just can't follow a guy like Roach around because he will make you pay. You got to reduce Roach's space. Keep him from circling freely. And again, try to force him into, and Zepeda has to force him into his fight. Pressure, volume, make him uncomfortable. And when he wants to rest, don't let him rest. And I think if he does that, he'll win the mental battle. But then again, Lamont Roach has proven that he's very strong mentally. See, Roach knows styles aren't only physical. You know what I'm saying? He knows Zepeda's going to come in there and try to impose his preferred rhythm. But Roach is aware of that. So that already gives Roach a significant advantage because he knows what he has to do to counter all that. The thing is, what's Zepeda? What's his plan B, C, D, and E? If his style and his strategy is not working and you got Roach in there tearing his ass up. You see, I haven't seen Zepeda fight any other way but come forward and let his hands go. Roach can fight on the inside, on the outside. Roach can do it all. Free swing, counter punch, be a boxing puncher. He can do everything. So when we start talking about that, it just makes me think about the keys of victory. With Zepeda, again, punch output, body attack, pressure, cut the ring off. I mean, that's him and his style and what he needs to do in a nutshell. He ain't doing no more than that or no less. He's never going to get up on his toes and float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Constant pressure, cut the ring off, let his hands go. And that's what he needs to do to be effective. And don't let Lamont Roach rest. And for Roach, just move. Doesn't mean you run around the ring, but move. Create those angles, time him, counterpunch him, show your ring IQ, make him pay. Make him think twice. But I'll just tell you, if Zepeda wins, it'll likely be because he consistently forced the exchanges, his volume 1 rounds, and he gradually wore Roach down. Now, if Roach wins, it'll likely be because he neutralized that pressure. You have to neutralize the pressure of a guy like Zepeda. Then he landed the cleaner punches and he controlled the distance and pace. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing Roach is very good at. He can slow the fight down. So you say, all right, Hood, make a prediction. You asking us who wins. Who do you have winning? It's just difficult, man. I keep saying 50-50. I'm thinking maybe Zepeda down the stretch. If Roach doesn't get him out there, Zepeda just outworks him and wins the later rounds and gets a decision, or it ends up in a draw. But the styles contrast so well. You know what I mean? I just think if Roach don't get him out of there, slight edge goes to Zepeda. It's just that pressure, man, across 12 rounds. But I got to be honest, Roach has the technical ability to make the fight highly competitive, and he can disrupt Zepeda's rhythm and limit clean scoring opportunities. So that's what I'm saying. I see it more of another draw for Roach. You know what I'm saying? Roach is like if he was a superhero, he'd be called like I don't know, draw man. You know what I mean? That's what we call him, draw man, because this man knows he can get a draw and keep his head above water and go on to the next big opportunity. So, but I will say, if he doesn't get paid out of there, I think it'll be a competitive fight, very competitive, but a unanimous decision for Zepeda. That's like a 55-45 confidence that Zepeda wins by decision, or it's going to be a draw. But Roach may just shock us. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I can't wait to see this fight. I'll probably be live for it too, because I went fishing today, so I'll be hanging out tomorrow. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.